Welcome to Module 7 of the Self-Directed Employment Planning Training. This module is called Understanding Employment Supports. My name is Claire. I'm a self-advocate from Madison, Wisconsin. I will be your narrator for this module. In this module, you will learn about the different types of supports available to help you with your job search process. You will get an overview of commonly used services people use to plan for and find employment. This overview will include the names often used to talk about employment supports. You will also have the opportunity to think about what services might be best for you based on your employment goals and support needs. There is a section in the workbook that goes with Module 7. After you go through this module, you can use the workbook to answer the questions and continue to create your plan for employment. There is also a section in the resource guide that goes with this module. If you have not downloaded the workbook or resource guide yet, click on the Resources tab on the right-hand corner of the screen to download the workbook before you go through this module. In Module 6, you learned about the main steps involved in the employment planning process. These steps are 1. Assessment, or figuring out what you want to do based on your interests and skills. 2. Planning your direction and addressing barriers to employment. 3. Job development, or looking for a job you want, or starting a business. 4. Job training and coaching. And 5. Ongoing support, if you need it, to keep being successful at work. In this module, the information will be introduced in the same order as the 5 steps of employment supports. As you go through this module, think about the ideas that appeal to you so that you can write them down in your workbook. Then you will have information to take back to your employment planning team to use on your own path to employment. As you will recall, the first part of the process is assessment. Assessment means figuring out what might be a good job match for you based on your interests, skills, and goals. As you can imagine, these things are quite different for everyone. Some people do not know what they are good at or what they want to do. That is okay. There are assessment tools and services that can help. Completing this training and the information in the workbook are part of your assessment and planning. You and your employment planning team can use the information put together in the workbook through this training to decide what type of job you want to have and what you want your employment goal to be. We mentioned the term assessment in Module 6, along with the terms discovery and career profile. Discovery and career profile are different kinds of assessments that people can complete. The people doing discovery and career profile with you will need to get to know you to complete the assessment. Each assessment has its own way of gathering information about you. A well-done assessment will help you find the right job match. A counselor from the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, a job developer from an employment service agency, or a teacher or counselor at your high school can help you with assessing your interests and skills. Formal assessments can involve career interest, inventories, manual dexterity assessment, academic knowledge evaluation, problem solving and critical thinking skills, assessments, and other tools to determine a person's abilities and interests. Formal assessments are not always the best option for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Exploration and observation using the discovery process can sometimes be a better fit. Discovery has been growing in popularity because it looks at job seekers through the positive perspective of what they can do, instead of focusing on what they can't. The discovery process does not compare a job seeker with a disability to people without disabilities. Discovery incorporates getting to know you, your routines, and your preferences. The person doing discovery with you should spend time talking with you and other important people in your life to get to know you. The person will also spend time with you in different places to better understand the things you like to do and the things you are good at doing. The type of assessment process can be helpful for you to determine your interest areas, transferable skills, and your ideal conditions for work. So if you have difficulty writing things down about yourself in Section 3 of your workbook, or you want more information after you complete this training, you may want to find somebody to do the discovery process with you in the assessment part of your plan. People who know you well can help you think about what you like doing, what you are good at, and what types of jobs might be right for you, no matter which module or process you choose. Employment services agencies have their own ways of gathering information about you and your employment skills. Usually, the people at the agency have done this type of work for a while, and they have developed services that meet the requirements of the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, DVR, and other funding sources, such as Managed Care Organizations, MCOs. When you are looking for an employment service agency, or if you have already chosen one, it is a good idea to ask them to explain the type of assessment process they use. Remember, the name of the assessment process is not the important part. What is important is that you consider the kind of approach that will work best for you. After an assessment, you should have a clearer picture of your goals and your plan. Your work goals should be based on what you like to do, what you are good at doing, and the kinds of places where you like to spend time. Your plan should include details about what you want, what help you will need, who will help you, and about how long it will take. The next part of the employment planning process is job development. Once you have an idea of the kind of job you want to look for, you will need to put together some materials about yourself to help with the job search process. Gathering this information is part of job development. Job development refers to the period of time when you create a resume or an employment portfolio. Connect with others about the types of jobs you are interested in, and spend time searching for jobs with support from others as needed. Or, if you decide that you want to start your own business, this would be the time when you and your team would do research necessary to write your business plan. As with assessment, different agencies and different people have different ways of doing job development or business plan writing. When choosing who to work with, be sure to ask their job development or business development methods and how they would work with you to get you to your goal. In Module 10, you will also learn about how you can independently hire someone to help you find a job or to start a business. If you do this, that person can attend a training to learn how to use various job development or business planning techniques with you. Resumes or portfolios are used in the job development phase. Resumes and portfolios are tools to help with the job search process. They usually include a list of things like your education, your skills, and your experience related to work. You can work with the people supporting you to create one or both of these in writing, with pictures or as video. Once you have information about yourself put together, you can share it with people during your job search. Discovery is often linked with an overall job development process called customized employment. In the customized employment approach, a job developer meets with employers for informational interviews to learn about a business and what needs they might have. If the employer has needs that you have the skills to do, the job developer will make a proposal to the business to create a new position for you. Customized employment relies on careful planning and creative thinking to make a good match between an employee with a disability and an employer. The customized employment model is based on the idea that each of us has unique skills, talents, and knowledge to meet workplace needs. When you think about it, most people have customized jobs. No matter where someone works or what their job is, over time, they usually wind up doing more of the things they are good at and are most interested in. In a workplace, people bring different talents and skills, and those differences come together to help get all the work done. The idea here is that you figure out what you have to bring to a workplace and then find an employer that needs your skills and talents. Project Search is an internship program to help students and young adults with disabilities learn employability skills and find jobs. There are many Project Search internship sites all over Wisconsin. High schools, the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, and employment service agencies partner to provide Project Search opportunities. Most Project Search sites are at hospitals, but there are other types of businesses, including a large hotel, a distribution center, a manufacturer, and a zoo. In addition to Project Search, some employment service agencies have partnerships with large companies to fill jobs for them. If you are interested in working for a hospital or a large company, you might want to ask your team to help you find out what employment service agencies in your area are involved in Project Search. More information about Project Search can be found in the resource guide section that goes with this module. Remembering the name of any specific process is not the important part. What is important is that you are part of the process. It is very important that you take the time to figure out what you want to do, the help you need and want, and the options in your area. Doing this will help you make sure you will find the job that is right for you. Hearing some of the terms and basic descriptions that are being used at this point in time, like discovery, customized employment, and Project Search, can spur your interest and help you ask questions. But what really matters is that you work with the people who are helping you to become employed in a way that you feel good about. The next part of employment supports is usually called job coaching. Job coaching means training and supports to learn your job once you start it. As with assessment and job development, this should be based on what you need to learn for your job, and that is different for everyone. The first step to successful job training is to have a clear description of what your job is going to be before you start working. You and the person supporting you should get that information from your new employer. It is pretty hard to do a job well if you aren't sure what you are supposed to be doing. Along with getting clear information from your new employer about your job duties is making a plan for your job training. This plan should be created with your new boss or someone from your place of employment who is assigned to get you started in your job. If you have a person or employment support agency working with you, you and your job coach should meet with your employer to make the plan for your job training. The important thing to remember about learning your new job is to make sure you understand what the employer wants you to do and expects of you. Otherwise, it'll be difficult to meet those expectations. Once you and your job coach, if you have one, are clear about your job duties, job schedule, and expectations, then you can make a plan to learn your job. Some terms you will hear when you are learning your job might include task analysis and systematic instruction. These are fancy words for making a list of the steps to your job duties and then learning each of these steps in order. If you have a job coach, that person should help you write down or record the different responsibilities that you have at work when you are just starting your job. There may be a lot of steps listed in writing or on a video as you become familiar with your job and learn to do the steps without reminders. There will be fewer steps listed or recorded for you to follow. Also, as you learn to do your job, you will need fewer reminders about what to do and when to do it. Everyone has to go through a process to learn a new job, using a method that provides you with information about all of your job tasks and then helps you to learn them in the correct order is a wise idea. The last part of employment supports is called ongoing supports. This is when your team determines your ongoing need for assistance once you have learned your job. This is sometimes called job maintenance. After you have learned your job, you may or may not still need extra assistance at work. Some people just need help with a few parts of their job, such as getting to and from work, remembering all the different parts of their job, completing a specific task, such as getting letters to a mailbox, or changing the paper in the copy machine. For different jobs, these are just examples. Your team, with input from your employer, should help you determine if you will need someone to help you at work. Your supervisor or coworkers can be available to provide the help you need as part of the natural expectations of the workplace. After all, no one is completely independent at their jobs, and part of being in a workplace is being part of a team of people who help each other out when needed. If you need more help than what your supervisor and coworkers can provide, you and your team should talk about ongoing job coaching support. Another option for you might be to use technology to become more independent at your job. Your job coach should have some ideas for this. You can also refer to the resources provided in Module 4. Instead of having someone stop by to help you at a certain time each day, a phone call might be all you need. You can also have a list of what you need to get done on an iPad, or a set of cards with your job duties in the order you need to complete them, or a video of you performing your job duties that you can watch if you need reminders. If you have a job coach, you will want to make the goal of independence by fading job coach services. Part of the conversation and plan with the team and the employer from the very beginning. Remember, it is a good thing to start a new job with the plan to become as independent as possible. Some people have health issues, such as a seizure disorder, that makes them and the support teams hesitant to consider job coach fading or a plan for independence. Even in these situations, it is important to keep an open mind about all of the options and help your team to do the same. If you choose to start your own business, it does not mean you have to do everything yourself. All business owners need help in some way or another. They get this help in many ways, including informal help from family and friends, or paying for business services, like accounting help, graphic design, marketing, or even cleaning. The kind of help you need will be based on your particular business, your team, and your skills. While job coaches can support you to learn the tasks associated with your business, it will be important for you to determine what services you will purchase as a business expense with the money you generate from your business, and what help you can get through your personal connections. Like working for an employer, you can and should have the goal to become as independent as possible. Individualizing employment supports and services means that you work with employment services providers to tailor their approach to your specific expectations and needs. This may include separating the 5 parts of the employment support planning process in such a way that you can get help from different agencies and different people over the course of your journey to employment. Individualizing supports might also mean that you ask members of your team to work together and shape your supports along the way to your employment goal. Congratulations! You have completed the 7th module of the Self-Directed Employment Planning series. Now, it is the time to answer the questions for this section in your workbook and explore some of the resources for this section listed in the resource guide.